Good afternoon. It's the Too Much Dip Podcast. I'm Dave. I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. Joining me in studio, it's Dylan Shivery.
I am just very happy to be here, man. Just thank you guys for having me on once again to talk sports. What a lot has happened in sports. Since
You've been portal baiting all day.
a little bit. Baseball portal baiting.
It's been honestly pretty disgusting to watch.
I'm sorry.
Just watching highlights.
Just watching highlights. Yeah, it's a big day for Texas baseball, man. All-American, first-team All-American catcher from Notre Dame, Carson Tenney, will be a Longhorn next year. That's exciting for me.
Not Dickie Lovelady?
No, couldn't grab him.
What is that from? Who is Dickie Lovelady?
I don't know, David.
KJ, do you know?
I was hoping it was an actual player. So clearly I have no idea.
It was a former Mets great, I believe. No?
Oh, an actual player.
Oh, yeah, former Mets reliever. He's an old man now. Old guy. As Dylan would call him, an old bag of bones. But
Old bag of bones.
Too much respect for him. Anyway. Randy's here too.
Hi, David. I got my green Gatorade bottle because podcasting is a sport and I want to stay hydrated. This episode is not brought to you by Gatorade.
What?
Of course, we
sport?
named it Gatorade.
Mm-hmm.
Business is a sport.
You're just jealous you don't have a green water bottle.
I'm
a
simply
green Gatorade
not.
bottle. Look at this. Steel.
That's
Oh, it's steel.
It's
Okay,
steel.
I
So
thought it was
cool.
a squirter.
Steel spelled
Dude.
S-T-E-A-L.
Oh, KJ
Brett.
just-
Okay,
Oh.
Brett has what KJ has, and he squeezes it next to me all day long.
I hate that sound.
Hear
It's
the air come out of
The
it. and he
worst
lets it
sounding
go.
one ever.
Dude, he does it nonstop.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I have nobody around me. I hate the sound so much that I don't use it that often.
Yeah,
like
it
I
sounds-
have other water bottles I keep on deck because this is aggressive.
That sound is reserved for like the sideline of soccer practice at like
Yeah.
6:30
Yeah.
in the evening.
Not for the Watch Media bullpen.
Hey, I lied. Dickie Lovelady is actually like he's not an old man.
I know a bag of bones.
Yeah, he looks young. Youngish.
Oh, not the one that I found. The one that I found is El Muerto, but I don't believe he was a famous baseballer.
Okay. You actually sent me a Slack here. It says Dickie Lovelady. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this, Dylan?
I didn't send you anything.
Thank you, Randy, for being here, man.
It's rubber grip.
Yeah, you're in good shape to drink water or whatever. What are you
Hey,
drinking?
man,
Mio?
enjoy your water out of your bottle, dude.
You
Thank
sipping
you, I
Mio?
will.
You got a little Mio squirt in there?
No, it's similar, but it's got caffeine. It's a little supplement. It's amino lean.
Oh, your pre-workout, eh?
Yeah, but it's
Oh, I thought that was pre-faded. A little fucking healthy lean.
Pull up
I
in
know
that
they did
Mino
the
lean.
squirt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's something there you could do with.
I think so.
That's definitely a name.
One of my favorite.
Like you could drop an album as Amino Lean.
Yeah,
For sure.
could. One of my favorite Chameleon lines. One of my
Millionaire.
favorite Houston rappers. It was pull up in that Mino speak English, and that's a foreign, baby. That's what he called a foreign.
Oh, that's kind of cold, man.
It's a lot. Like it's not
Chameleonaire.
something you would use in casual convo. But if you're writing bars, you do.
Millionaire have bars, dude.
You wouldn't say that to your boys, like, "Hey, will you come pick me up?" Like, I can't, dude. I'm in the Mino speak English. I don't have room for you. You know, because I got the car seats in it or some shit.
Wow, that's pretty good.
His line's not mine. Sorry for you. We got a big show today. A great show. I mean, we've got breaking Pac-12 news as they've inked a deal with CBS, a media deal. What's next for the Pac-12? You might ask. Well, I'll tell you what's
Ooh.
next. Adding a team, the odds-on favorite, your Texas State Bobcats. I'm wearing the hat today, coincidentally. Just gotta say, we're on. Finish the show and then have a big announcement watch. I don't think it's going to happen until July, but all I'm saying is
That's big.
we might get the Cats.
That's big for the Cats, dog.
Look, the Cats go from playing Louisiana Monroe or whatever to fucking Boise State. Maybe like that's legitimate. No offense to Louisiana.
We dogged on the Pac-12 last week. I think mostly me dogged on the Pac-12 last
well,
week
because it was the
they're-
Pac-Dos.
They're a shadow of their former selves, but it's still the Pac-12, and they got some programs they're flirting with. Still got Washington State there. Still got Oregon State there. Might add, I don't know, Colorado State, something.
Yeah.
It's better than what
Yeah,
they were
they're in
dealing
there.
with.
They're in there.
Fucking A. TV deal, CBS, whole thing.
I guess cocky SMU guy can't really chime in. He doesn't have much on it. He doesn't really think of teams like this.
Dude, here you go from your fucking pedestal. Fucking
Yeah,
KJ.
life in the ACC is kind of sweet over there in the All Coast Conference. I will quickly say, like we're talking a lot about the Pac-12, and it's kind of like Mountain West plus right now. The actual Mountain West, I don't know if we ever talked about it or mentioned it. It's not really that notable, but Northern Illinois being in the Mountain West is kind of goofy.
Yeah, it is.
Not even like just the geography of it, but like they're like, all right, we're gonna go get Northern Illinois.
There must have been a sweetheart deal there.
It's a Chicago suburb. I get it. Like,
Is that
it's
where
a
it is?
team. Yeah. Like, I don't know. About as close as Randy is to Chicago.
45
Cab
minutes.
is.
That seems like a shot at Randy, and rightfully so. Randy, you didn't watch any Game 7 last night.
I watched.
No, you fucking
I watched
didn't.
the confetti fall.
There wasn't any confetti.
They fucked up the
notably.
confetti.
It was real shitty.
But by the time
So you
I
lied.
turned it on, there was confetti in the air. That's all I saw. I saw someone put on a hat that said championship, the confetti in there, and I said, well, I guess I missed it all.
The hat also only said like Oklahoma City on it or
I
something.
don't know. I watched it all for 20 seconds, KJ. I didn't really watch it with a keen eye.
It was
That
probably
means
really
you
hard
only
to
saw
figure
the
out.
Halliburton injury 10 times if you only saw it for 10 seconds.
Too busy building a box on my balcony with power tools.
Can I go there before we jump in real quick?
Please do.
Two things. First off, what you're seeing me wear right now on this wonderful Monday afternoon, real basic polo. As David will be quick to remind you, this show is definitely a visual medium. Check us out on YouTube. But this basic polo that I'm rocking today, fourth outfit your boys put on. Fourth outfit, which for those of you in Central Texas, you're like, okay, what of it? If you hit the gym, you could plow through 3 or 4 outfits by the afternoon. No big deal, especially midsummer. I really had detached from that part of my brain of the, I'm going to accomplish a task, need to do a full body change and clean multiple times in one day. Dropped the kids off at school, came back, mowed the grass real quick. Already anticipated I was going to need to change clothes. No big deal. You know, that's the get dressed, change. That's 2. Left the house to take my kid to an appointment midday. Decided to like have our sandwich or whatever, his lunch, like with the windows down in the car. Humidity ate my ass up. Came back fully swamped up, and I'm like, no, can't do a pod like this.
Swamped up, you
Got to change. And I was in the car with the AC. Had to change. All I'm saying is I miss a lot about Texas. Chicken Express, good looking women,
Hey.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Don't miss the swamp.
No.
It's
It's
killing your boy.
particularly
No.
bad today. I went on my my hot boy post lunch walk, and I came back in and I was like, this is last 50 yards was tough. I'm wearing a corduroy Texas State
It's
hat,
terrible.
which was not a good idea. And it was just
Not
bad.
breathable.
No,
Does not
I mean,
scream
no.
breathability.
It was just bad. And it was not good out there. Wait, so what was your first outfit technically? Are you counting what you woke up in?
Like what I woke up and like got dressed
Oh.
to take the kids to school. That,
Okay.
that, like, you know what I mean? That's, you know, on a normal day, that would have made me almost a pod time. Usually I'll do a quick change depending on what I'm wearing. But anyways, that brings me back to my point about Randy's day yesterday and how we are built different. Somewhat pun intended. Hot as fuck outside. What are you doing, bruh?
It was
I know
actually
you're on the
pretty
balcony.
mild. Very windy. It was nice.
Okay, sure. Maybe y'all had a good day. Maybe your balcony faces like south or something. You're not catching direct sun on either part of the day. I get it. But I saw that. I felt miserable. And then I realized you're a whole different breed than I am. And maybe it's the kids. I don't know. But when you first started that story, Randy built a planter box. Is that what it finished out to be?
Yeah.
Okay. You were, you had raw materials. You were
Mhm.
beginning your journey. by the end of that story, you almost had a finished product. And that's where you and I, brother, are very different. Because I've got about 20 of them damn projects sitting in the garage right now, about 80% completion. I'm like, who the fuck finishes? Like, what are you doing here?
I did think
Supposed
about
to just
that.
start
Like
and stop.
If I was like talking to my brother, I was like, you know what, this is the kind of nice part of like, you know, having free time and not kids. Just like I can do a whole project all day. That's my whole Sunday was just working on that thing. And it was kind of nice. While I have the microphone.
Like envious of like trips to Lake Como on their timeline. I'm like, no, this man he's painting. What do you do? Like what?
It was great. While I'm here, I'm just gonna put a little correction out there. I just did a little Google Maps from Northern Illinois to Sears Tower, not Willis Tower, Sears Tower. It's about 66 miles away, and from Dyer, Indiana, to Sears Tower, it's about 32 miles away. So it's about twice the distance farther than Chicago downtown.
With traffic, what you got?
I don't know. Either way,
I'm kidding.
Well,
Fair enough.
You know, you left out like the most important thing or like the most unique thing about what Randy's doing. He's doing all this and he's still moving. I don't know if you know this, but like
still moving.
He's moving in. Like he hasn't even finished the move.
I have just considered that moving means that I'm not fully done moving until everything is in its place and hung up on the walls.
But that doesn't mean creating new things to hang.
Well, the thing is,
usually that means like eliminating your current options.
That's
unless you're saying like your plants needed a place to go.
My plants are currently on my mantle, and all the stuff that's on my kitchen counter that's supposed to go on the mantle is now being taken up by plants, and
My
plants need to go in the pot. So yeah. So still moving in.
Apartment mantles are dope.
Fireplace, man.
Just
a lot of stuff to
let
talk
me know
about.
when you rock that bitch. Anyhow, let's get
a lot of
it.
stuff.
I'm sorry.
Dave's trying to move along.
No, I'm not. I was trying to buy some time as I added something to run it back.
Okay.
It's worth noting. It's part of the show.
I don't check. I don't look.
Oh, you don't look?
Enjoy
Okay,
the
good.
surprise.
Well, they did it. The Oklahoma City Thunder were able to overcome a catastrophic injury, a ruptured Achilles to the most clutch player in the playoffs. And they are now your NBA champions. Of course, I'm talking about the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know if you guys saw it. They only replayed it, I think, 8 times on the broadcast.
Maybe the most clear-cut example, like obvious Achilles tear I've ever seen in sports, like replay. It was just like, oh yeah, anyone can identify what just happened there.
And what was that happened?
Yeah. What was the tear?
The Achilles.
Yes,
the Achilles.
His Achilles.
His Achilles tore.
Oof.
Tough scene, man. Yeah, you know, I did watch some basketball, which is I haven't really done much of.
Game 7. If that can't get you out of bed,
exactly.
Hoss.
I did watch some scrappy little Pacer squad there that actually took a lead into the second half. 1-point lead. They were, you know, it's one of those like, all right, our best players out. We're playing against a team that's already favored to win. We're on the road. It's like, all right, we got a chance to like, you know, this has a chance to be quite a story if we could pull this off. And they were kind of riding that high a little bit, I think, but a little too much OKC in the second half.
Yeah. You know, second half, a lot of people calling into question Rick Carlisle's rotations, lack of Siakam. I have not followed Indiana Pacers ball enough to know if that's something he's had success with previously. I am not here to criticize Rick Carlisle because he has proven to be an excellent coach and he got them there. That being said, things did take a turn when they cut it to like 4 or 5 points and Siakam went to the bench. And next thing you know, that's when the Thunder went on the run. I think it was a 9-0 run and didn't really look back. And I'm going to be honest. I gave them a few minutes into the fourth, see what they could do. And I said, it's Love Island time, baby. And then I checked Twitter and somebody said, well, 12 points. And I went and looked and I was like, do I need to? No, I don't.
It was a lot of missed shots at that point. Like once it got gettable, the Pacers were playing their little asses off the entire game, like until the final minute. Not until like an obnoxious point in the game, but they played hard. Ben Mathurin, I think that's his first name. Whatever. Matherin, like, there were times where you're like, hey, he's playing at first quarter speed in the fourth and like doing everything he can. Kind of like the Ja Morant, like extra quick step. Like he looked like that in the fourth without the results all the time.
You know what? God, it's nice to have a team like that. If that's your team and if nothing else, they're not going to quit. That's a really fun thing to have. And look, to push that thing to 7 games was very impressive because there were legitimate outlets talking about gentleman's sweep. And the calf strain appears to be undefeated. So now going into next year, it'll be really interesting to see, like, because there were a number of like Achilles tears.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie, Tatum, and Halliburton in the playoffs, essentially, or like Kyrie was in what, March?
Was Kyrie ACL or Achilles?
Now you're saying it like me.
Yeah. But anyway, there were a number. Yeah, it was ACL. He was ACL.
Okay, my bad.
But there were there was like 4 or 5, and it's going to be like, okay, so now when like you see stars, like if you thought dudes got rested before this, now that like on the biggest stage, the NBA like can have an NBA Finals Game 7, you see a dude who's playing through a calf strain go out there and do what everybody really hopes he doesn't do. It's going to be like, You're going to see a lot more dudes like Luka, who was out with a calf strain when he was still with the Mavs. And there were people in the organization who wanted him to play through it. And you're just like, man, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, that fucking sucks, dude. That really sucks. It sucks for the Pacers for obvious reasons. It kind of sucks for Thunder fans. I mean, to them, they're not thinking like, they don't feel bad about their title, but honestly, you don't want to have that one little talking point. Like,
you don't have people to throw it in your face. Oh yeah, but their best player got hurt.
Yeah, like people like me.
Yeah. You don't want that, but it takes nothing away from the title.
I think it would have been applicable had SGA gotten hurt and the Pacers won. Like everybody would say that about the Pacers because they had Tatum go out.
For sure.
You get the Knicks and like it would have made sense, but the Thunder were the best in the regular season.
68
best
win team
in the playoffs. I don't know. They were the better team in that series for sure. But healthy, I don't know if they win that series, which is weird to say. Maybe not weird because we watched the Mavericks beat them last year. So it's not like they're some like invincible team. They just seem to be the healthiest and have like one extra level of depth that other teams could not provide.
That's a great point. They were healthy. And they're also young. And that's tends to be, you tend to be the younger the team, I feel like you tend to be healthier, right? That's usually how it goes. Sam Presti, best GM in the game.
I agree. I think Danny Ainge and him, you can go back and forth on saying like who's made the most out of draft picks and like putting a team together. But, talking about youth, like looking at how that team came together over the years. I mean, you've seen the not Paul Pierce. What am I trying to say?
Paul George.
Paul George. Thank you. Paul George story of like how his trade led to both teams being created since he was sent from the Pacers to the Thunder and then on to the Clippers. I like that. I think that's interesting. Obviously, the SGA coming to the Thunder is incredible. You could take it all the way back to like the fact that Oklahoma City has a team. And like Hurricane Katrina having to force that issue, essentially. Like that's how the Pelicans ended up there. The Pelicans ended up there for a season, maybe 2 seasons, when they left New Orleans. And then that stuck when the Seattle team really couldn't put together a stadium. But really, what stands out is why like this team kind of came together is Josh Giddey's inability to date like women of age and hook up with women of age. And so like, speaking of youthful teams, going back to
come on,
earlier
KJ.
in the season.
Hold on. He's cooked. The man's cooking. Hang on.
Going back to earlier in the season,
It did bring him Caruso.
Josh Giddey was accused after images of him and a young woman who I won't name because I didn't do that research, who's supposedly a high schooler, potentially 18, question mark, photoed at multiple different times, not just like one time, seemingly like at her house or at a house, implied to be in some sort of relationship, certainly friendly with one another. Not quite
rumors.
a Julian Edelman Snapchat photo, but like intimate-esque photos.
He was
I would
partying.
say. Definitely.
He was at least
There you go.
partying with younger folk.
For sure. And there were, I think photos from multiple different days is kind of what I'm trying to get at there too. Under investigation in the NBA, that was later to be unfounded due to like what would you say? People weren't.
There's no evidence. There was nobody talking.
No evidence, but also people weren't not complying. What do we call it? I can't think of the word. People weren't playing along with the investigation. There's a formal word that I just completely drawn a blank on. But yeah, so then the Thunder trade him as soon as that investigation was dropped for Alex Caruso. And I don't think there's a person out there, no matter how great Jalen Williams and SGA have been in these playoffs, who would say the Thunder beat the Nuggets without Caruso, or even the Pacers with what Caruso did in this series.
Caruso, so Josh Giddey's last game as a Thunder? What?
Yeah,
I don't know.
how do you say that?
A Thunder?
A member of the Thunder?
As a Thundor.
Thundy?
Was the Mavericks. The Mavericks eliminated them last year. Josh Giddey was terrible in that series. Couldn't hit shit.
Mhm.
And they trade him in June. It was a heads up trade, straight up. Like no draft picks, no nothing, I'm pretty sure. For Caruso. Caruso, like, great fit. Like, dude, I mean, a great defender. Like, defended, some say a little too good, gets away with a lot, whatever. But yeah, you're right, KJ. I don't think they beat the Nuggets without him because he's fucking all in Jokic's ass in that series, and he's a pest, and he's a good player. And Josh Giddey, I just never really got it. Like he never seemed like anything special, and I was like, well, I never really understood if they were going to try to build around this dude. But
I think they were like he was drafted with that intent. He's 6'8", like ball handling guard, and I think he was kind of purported to be like Ben Gordon with a shot. He doesn't play Ben Gordon defense. That's a bad comparison. He's just from Australia.
he's a white guy.
But they got a SGA. And so I think once you got SGA and you get another tall guard, it's like he's automatically going to be second to SGA, and like never really settled into that role. He gets points, gets buckets in Chicago, played decently in Chicago, got, had a credible role. But again, he also had a role in a young woman's life, which
Allegedly.
yes, his playoffs performance did have an effect on or an impact on that trade. I don't think it's the singular reason as to why the Thunder made that move. But them getting the defensive minded player like Caruso, who's been to a championship, and who has 2 rings.
Only one that counts, though, according to him. Just kidding. He did say that. That was
he did make that joke, but I'm just like, I would have celebrated the Mavericks bubble, like had that been theirs, or the Stars, had either of the Mavs or Stars won. Like I'd have no fucks about like saying it counts.
Stars should have won. Now that Tampa Bay team was good. But no, you're right. I had honestly forgot he was on that team. That's an oversight on my part. Yeah, dude, shout out to the Thunder. This is a long time coming, and you finally did it. And, now what can we say about him? Like, look, it's not the most – people are going to always say what they say about SGA, about his style, about the whistles he gets. But he's objectively great, a deserved MVP. And you know what? A young one too. Got to look, potential dynasty. They've been put on dynasty watch, according to
I don't think it's fair to I don't want to detract from SGA, but do you think any level of Jokic fatigue and or like being on the right team in the right situation, which every MVP has to be, I feel like, or most do, like how much of it is SGA? Like, is he really NBA All-Star, regular season MVP, finals MVP, playoff MVP, best player in the NBA this year, hands down, based on like the awards and the accolades? Like, he's scored as much. He's won the ring. He's won the games. So I'm not saying he's not. It's just,
yeah. He's on a best player on a 68 win team. That'll get you.
Can't knock that.
That'll get
in the West.
In the West, a stacked West. That's even more stacked, Dylan. News coming out of Houston. Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Former Longhorn great.
Give away Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, lottery pick, and then a slew of second-round picks, I believe, to get KD from Phoenix.
Yeah, the Jalen Green time in Houston didn't end well for him. He was not his best in the playoffs as the Warriors took them out, and there was a lot of people were just over him. I'm not ready to give up on him, but yeah, I don't know what Phoenix is doing. I don't know what their plan is. I guess they're going to keep Booker. It's weird, but yeah, KD to Houston. What'd you say?
Sorry, I was going to say I'm sure you've seen it. The picture of like the Suns depth chart. It's like all small shooting guards or whatever.
Bradley Beal, Devin Book, Jalen Green.
Like, you've got nothing else. You sent DeAndre Ayton away a couple years ago. You no longer have
Dylan Brooks
KD.
is what, a 3-4?
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Brooks can guard 3 or 4 positions. Dylan Brooks leaving Houston's not. I mean that's as much as I hate the dude. I mean, that dude was a big part of them setting the tone. But I guess they're going to do some work. They're going to rework Fred VanVleet and do some kind of team friendly deal. I don't know. I was reading Stein earlier. Houston, I don't know. You're going to go all in on KD. Okay. I think you were already the 2 seed last year in the West. Does this get you as a contender? Does this get you? This probably gets you out of the first round next year. I don't know, man. If KD can stay healthy,
one of those psychopath twins, which I shouldn't call them that. Amin Thompson. I don't know which one they've got, but both of them look like pure murderers, just because they kind of have that like very stoic disposition.
Yeah.
And they're very good. And the big on the Rockets is really good. And they've got Udoka. Like, that's a well-coached team.
Sengun.
So Sengun, I didn't know shit about him until the playoffs, and he stood out. Jalen Green looked very pedestrian in that series. Like, had no impact on anything except for like my interest in ordering Wingstop because his commercial would come on every break.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just weird to be like, hey, I've got the number 2 team. Something must not have been right in the locker room is what you've got to expect. But I have a lot of faith in Ime Udoka's ability to coach a good team, and hopefully treat all of his employees well.
And do something very, very strange that no one will ever talk about, but it gets your job, your tenure with a storied franchise ended. Still don't know what happened there. Whatever happened there.
You should go on your phone, delete my name from your phone. I know that's not him, but I just put them all in the same category.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. KD will be fun in Houston. He's, KD's extremely online. Houston seems like a good place for him.
God. I'm glad he's not on the same team with Dylan Brooks, though. Like, I just feel like, I don't know why that would just be too much shit talking, but like, I don't know. It just would be too much for me. But the Seahawks, wow, the Suns, Phoenix Suns, they're almost like they're like one Morris brother away from being everything you could ever hate about one team as a Maverick fan.
The Morris brothers are just doing ESPN now. Like, they're on there every morning.
Yes, they are.
Every time I'm at the gym,
so
just like I'm doing my in-between sets, hands on hips, just like trying not to stare at anybody, who might be near me. So I'm just looking up at the TV. I'm like, there's a Morris brother. I'll be damned. Look on the other one. There's the other Morris brother. He's the one who played for the Mavs. Cool. It really is crazy how many ex-athletes are now like that. That is ESPN. It's insane.
For NBA, for sure. Oh, I guess in NFL, you get that shit too. Mid-season, you're like, why is Jeff Saturday still on the TV?
I mean, I couldn't wait to hear what former Colts coach Jeff Saturday had to say.
That's right.
What yeah, people don't talk about that enough. Did y'all catch any of the not the backlash, but people were widely shitting upon the halftime shows.
I missed that completely.
For good reason. It's just bad content. It's terrible.
What happened? What they do?
It's Stephen A, Perk. They're just like, there's nothing of substance. It's just like, think about like inside the NBA at its worst. And that's kind of what it is, in my opinion.
Can I argue for no more? And this goes to the NFL too. I don't want your set in the stadium or in the arena at all. I want it out like in the foyer or with the fans outside. Like you need to be in the environment. I can get shots of you like observing the game from a tunnel or from, a suite or whatever. But it drives me insane to do with like the set where you've got the fans in the background being obnoxious, like they're talking over the stadium. Like it's just bad.
It lends itself to bad conversation.
I'd rather see like the line building up for the restroom at halftime in the background, or like how fast like one nacho stand is getting people through and one lemon chill stand has nobody at it. Like that's much more compelling for me in the background than like anything that goes on inside the arena.
It's like us trying to do a pod from Say by the Brunch when there's all sorts of activity. We start loud talking and it's not a good product, so much so that we can't even use the audio for touching base on circling back because Dylan got shit at.
Gave you a t-shirt?
Gets way too drunk.
This guy gave you a t-shirt.
Says some incredible things over and over again. Yeah.
No, yeah. It's a bad product. Stephen A, like I get like polarizing, like I'm not a fan, but I totally get him being the personality in the he has his fans.
He's been in it too. He's a journalist. He's a writer.
Yes.
He's I don't say content, but yeah.
Are there people out there that are riding for Perk? Like, no, actually, dude, the guy knows the ball.
I don't.
He played ball. I respect Beaumont. Shout out Westbrook High School. I remember watching him in high school, like when they would televise the state games. He was a fucking dog, but it just seems like a bit. It seems like an idiocracy if like they did a sequel and you did like a sports subplot. That's what your halftime show on ESPN would look like. And also, if you're the Thunder, your halftime show is the hip hop violinist.
Oh,
that was the halftime performer. I don't know if you caught any of that. I don't know how that's your Game 7. You got to bring back Red Panda. There's a number.
You're in Oklahoma City, like just roll Morgan Wallen out or whatever the hell.
He was just in Dallas or Houston.
Okay,
came out with Drake and Roger Clemens.
He sure did.
The Rocket,
a collab no one saw coming.
You know what? A little surprised.
What did Roger Clemens have to offer in that setting?
He didn't do much. He just kind of walked with him.
Well, that's his bit. Not like on stage, but like his bit is he does like a long, you probably know this, a tracking cam, long walk through the tunnel to the stage. And it's like a walkout, like a wrestling or a fighter walkout. And like when he was in Dallas, he had Troy. And it was a little awkward because it's Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman's like, and Morgan Wallen's getting all hyped, like dapping up security guards and shit. And this time he's walking out with Roger Clemens. Like, oh yeah, the Rocket. Cool. That's cool. Yeah, great player. And there's Drake. It's a big deal. Drake. You're familiar with him.
Drake?
And then he goes out on stage and he does his whatever song, Drinking and Driving or whatever the fuck Morgan Wallen's doing. I don't know his music.
There's probably a song about drinking and driving.
There's some undertones of driving inebriated.
All this drinking's driving me crazy.
I was in Canton, Massachusetts, leaving the bar with my girlfriend. I was drunk.
Like I'm from the Tokes.
Had a banana in the console.
Didn't really do the job. I still got pulled over.
Furniture over a balcony.
Almost killed
shouting a cop. At some friends.
He was feet from doming a cop with a piece of furniture and like killing the cop.
Dropped a heart in. He did.
Wait, shit! I forgot. I'm supposed to support that now. He's one of us. There we go. Yeah.
I don't know if that makes him one of you, man.
Me and Morg's really adopting this
Right.
lifestyle.
It's
Fuck,
just-
I forgot.
Man, let's do a first take style debate. Like, what was worse? Throwing, like, almost killing the cop with the. Actually, no, let's not do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that one. That's a no-win discussion right there.
Here we are,
Oh.
4 days removed from. Anyhow,
I'm hungry.
Are you hungry?
I can't wait to go home and fire up a Green Chef.
Oh, wow.
Hard pivot.
What? Are you guys not hungry? I love summer. How I love summer. Let me tell you how. Something about it just makes you feel your best. So what better time to create healthy meal habits that last? Green Chef. Now's the time. The #1 meal kit for clean eating, Dylan. You eating clean this summer?
I'm eating pretty clean this
oh,
summer.
yeah, I can
Actually,
tell.
Green Chef has been a big part of that, as a matter of fact, Dave.
It makes it easy. Green Chef makes it easy to spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying summer with their new heat and eat meals. Enjoy a delicious, wholesome meal in just 3 minutes. How about that? Heat and eat, 3 minutes. Perfect for supporting your wellness journey. Green Chef recipes feature fresh, organic, seasonal produce and 100% responsibly sourced proteins to help you feel your best. Green Chef's real, clean ingredients help you build lasting, healthy habits without the hassle. Enjoy salads ready in just 5 minutes, protein-filled breakfasts, or nutrient-rich smoothies to fuel your day. Green Chef is ready to nurture your nutritional needs. With 80-plus dietitian-approved weekly options, Green Chef makes it easy to find meals that fit your lifestyle. This is my favorite, the Mediterranean gluten-free, but I like the Mediterranean. I'm a big Mediterranean. You know that. It's in the blood.
I love Mediterranean as well, Dave.
Plant-based, protein-heavy, even gut and brain health, and calorie-smart choices too. The recipes change every week. And with week-to-week flexibility, you can adjust your plan to match your mood and your schedule. We're huge fans. Make this summer your healthiest yet with Green Chef. Head to greenchef.com/50 too much dip and use code 50, that's 50, too much dip to get 50% off your first month. Then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping. It's a good code there, Hoss. 50 too much dip at greenchef.com/50 too much dip. That's the number 5, the number 0, too much dip. 50 too much dip at Green Chef. Check it out. Huge fans. I'm a Mediterranean boy. I love it. Give me that chicken. Ugh.
Cucumber. Tzatziki sauce. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. That's Dave.
That's what Zeke does.
Yes.
Does he?
Tzatziki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't make it sound like Da Vinci, but that's how I'm thinking it.
PGA time?
I don't know.
Are we done talking about
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
round ball?
Got the draft this week? Yeah, we're done.
Draft on Wednesday.
Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag's me, man. It's just gonna be cool and weird.
Trade him. Go get Luca.
I don't think that's what a fucking. If that were
We'd
to,
have Luca and AD, and they get Cooper Flag.
this league, that's how I would tweet. I'd be like, this league, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy,
It'd be
Randy.
It'd be exciting.
Whoa, tweet it out. That might go viral.
Jeez. All right. Thanks, Randy. Randy, hold on a sec. Oh, you can't see. It's a visual shot. I turned his mic down.
But I'm right back
He's
up.
back. He's back. He's that producer.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Good drop, KJ.
Stanley Cup. Shout out to the Panthers. You know what? Nobody does a post champy celebration like the NHL. Our boys on puck.
Are we doing Champy celebration?
What are you talking about? That's not what I said.
Dave clearly said championship celebration. I don't know what.
Sorry, I was trying to save time.
You didn't. Now we're talking about it for another 15, 20
Because of you.
seconds.
Because you
you.
fucking called me
Yeah.
out. You fucking jack wagon. Yeah. So it just seems like the benders go a little longer. Celebration, you get a little bit more saltiness. You get guys doing stories, tagging other teams that, didn't re-sign or traded players to them. It's fun. It's fun. My GOAT will always be former Mav, am I thinking, Deshaun Stevenson, who I think went as far as to like just be randomly walking around shirtless an apartment complex by himself, hammered, and just went to jail. Which is my favorite post-champy celebration. But
Red Sox catcher did something similar.
Napoli, former, Mike Napoli, walking around town, walking into bars shirtless, and everybody's just that's my favorite. God, I wanted to recreate that in Dallas.
Just going rogue, like fuck a bus top, like just clearly 11 hours into it.
That's my favorite. Like the dudes who like, it's not like let's all get together and go to the club. Maybe we can do that, but like I'm gonna just go walk around by myself and just get noticed and go into bars and just go stand on the bar, go behind the bar. That's the Mike Napoli. That's the GOAT. Mike Napoli. Ron Washington's nickname for him was
I don't know.
The Dirtbag.
Oh yeah,
and I don't. And I'd love to know why. Like I'm sure he tried to play it off like it was some kind. But if you watch him play, how he plays the game, it's like no, he does some shit on the road or something.
He's a locker room guy.
Yeah.
On that note, shouts to Ron Washington, T's and P's, as he's dealing with health-related issues away from the Angels right now.
What are the issues?
Health matter.
Okay.
Age.
Oh,
being
damn.
old while cocaine. I don't know.
Okay, that's not.
I don't know that that's what's currently ailing him, but he's, I started this off genuine. Then you press me for facts.
Yeah, Dave, why'd you do that to KJ?
I don't know. I just wanted to know. I'm looking it up now. I didn't realize he had taken
talking about champy celebrations.
time away.
And then you just do
but
that.
But the line from his shortstop saying he hadn't been himself the last couple of days, we all saw that. Like, that's scary to see. You don't ever want to see those words said about somebody.
Will forever go down as DFW coaches of all time. Like, I think it's going to go Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy's up there. It's Jimmy Johnson and like Wash. Even though Wash didn't get it done, but like
beloved,
dude.
Yes.
That's okay. Like that. That's like one of the more sad storylines from that team that didn't get it done. Like, is that
Don's probably up there. Don Nelson, I would say, is up there. I don't know if he was ever hated. I think people just got tired of scoring 140 and losing.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. Losing to the Kings.
And I don't think the Stars ever had anybody that they loved enough. Like,
Hitch
10
was
different coaches. Hitchcock, yeah. It's same thing with Carlisle. He was a jerk. Like,
he is a jerk.
A really good person who is a jerk. If you can be both. Anyhow, we're way off here. Are we doing hockey? Or are we done with that?
I don't have much. I mean, it was like 6 days ago.
Okay.
But that was clearly like everything out of afterward is like, okay, conversation immediately moves to does McDavid want out of Edmonton? And I say he should get out of there. He should come down to a place that doesn't have income tax. And no, not Florida. Of course, I'm talking about Dallas, Texas. That's the big controversy. I think Bish from Spittin' Chicklets and also like all the TNT coverage. Other people too are saying, well, does NHL need to do something about like these big market players? These players are going to these free agents or these guys who want to get traded. They want to go to teams that are in states that don't have that tax, the income tax. And that's that's been a joke during free agency, like especially like in the NBA, like, oh, he might, Dwight Howard might want to go to Texas because they don't have an income. That was like the joke. It's like, no, but
it's surely as a factor.
It's sure, yeah. No, it probably is, and
not the deciding factor, but it'll nudge you in the right direction.
That's been a big debate amongst the NHL bubble, and I don't know how you fix that. But
I don't think you can without other states doing the same thing.
KJ, how much money are you taking home before taxes?
Well, one thing I was surprised to find is while my sales tax is whopping 3% lower, we do have state income tax. Not fun at all. But hey, whatever. Property tax is way lower. It all evens out.
And you get a basement.
You do get a basement.
I got a basement. I do get a basement.
Randy,
absolutely go to a basement.
It would be way easier for your dungeon.
It's very true.
Randy is definitely on the Bonds list of like future state might have dungeon.
He's on Dungeon Watch for sure.
For sure. With enough means and time, man will have a dungeon.
Randy's
He needs like one more pandemic and a little more resources.
his new pod is Dungeons and Wagon.
I am on record saying that if I were to have a man cave, I would move it into like a game room that is just like completely fantasy and dungeon themed. So yes,
Oh no.
be sick.
Dungeons and
You're going to
Wagons.
have a dope table, aren't you?
That I would love to build a like gaming table. It'd be sick.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that was Randy's Nerd Corner.
We got to talk. I'm very sad to report.
The golf was sad.
Tommy Fleetwood.
The golf was real sad.
Mm.
Tommy Fleetwood, who I believe has never won a PGA tournament.
He's never won a PGA tournament. He's won multiple times in Europe, DP. KJ's familiar with DP. He's been following international golf for a while now. Yesterday looked like, you know what? This is the day.
For my money, one of the more likable guys on tour for sure.
There's a weird man crush that a lot of guys have on
It's the
Tommy,
flow.
myself included, and it's the
I was
flow.
going to say,
the flow.
it's the hair.
He's English
he's-
without being like
he's humble.
He's not elitist English looking.
Soft spoken, humble, great flow, nice guy.
He seems like he would be like a cool dude.
Yeah.
Um,
It was there for the taking. I watched about the last 3 holes of this tournament. Really unfortunate for our boy Tommy Fleetwood, who had a 1-stroke lead going into the 18th, playing alongside Keegan Bradley and Russell Henley.
keep in mind, had like a 3 or 4 shot lead going into the
Yeah.
round. Tees off on 1.
It just slowly
In the
starts to
rough.
slip, and he was
Bogey's 1.
He was
Not good.
fighting it like the last 3 or 4 holes.
Bogeyed like 3 of his first
Yeah.
4. Mixed a birdie in there. It was close.
Yeah.
And you know, Keegan's, I don't know if you heard this from Jim Nantz about 16 times, but you know, the Travelers is in Connecticut, New England.
Mhm.
And Keegan Bradley, of course, is a son of New England.
Yes.
So he had the crowd
Yeah.
behind him. He's won this event before. He was the hometown kid.
Yeah.
Big
And,
Patriots fan.
He did it
So both Keegan and Fleetwood, good drives, found the fairway
on 18.
on 18. Fleetwood hits his approach. He shorts it. There's a last second club change. A little discussion with his caddy. Pulled a pitching wedge, I believe, and leaves it short. Keegan Bradley steps up and puts it to 5 feet.
Did
Like,
you have
no
any
shit.
doubt that he was? I knew he was going to stick it. You know he's going to stick it.
Yeah, you kind of felt that coming. So Fleetwood has a stroke lead, like I said, and Fleetwood putts it from just off the green and leaves it just outside of Keegan's ball, exact same line. So he shows Keegan the line. Of course, Fleetwood misses his putt. The replay shows it hits something, ball mark or a little pebble right.
Looked like it hit something, yeah.
and it takes a right turn, misses, and then Keegan gets up and drains it for the dub.
You're kind of
So bogey birdie.
You're kind of Tommy, and I'm kind of Keegan.
In what way?
You showed me the line last
Okay.
time we were at Woodrow's, and I was like, "Hey, what?"
I don't remember doing that. I don't remember doing that.
I was like, "Dude, we're at a bar.
Well, that's where people do that kind of stuff, I think.
My family's here with me."
Your
Right.
family was at
Your,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, your
He
family's
He
at
brought-
it
he
must
brought
be
the
the
kids
southern
to
location,
Woodrow's.
right?
And I tried to get him to do cocaine
I
with
was
me. He
like-
just didn't do. He didn't want to.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, Keegan
A little
wins.
brunch bump.
Yeah, it was bad. And then Keegan's got like Keegan's an emotional guy, and he's like, "Yeah, you know." I was mad at him in the moment.
Because he was right in front of Tommy.
He didn't do anything wrong, but yeah,
No.
I was mad at him because I'm like,
Yeah.
"Wow, Tommy, this isn't the first time Tommy's blown one of these."
When you win like that, I always expect the winner to go up to the guy he just beat and be like, "Man, I'm sorry. Hell of a turn." It was a quick dap and he walked away. I didn't like that.
I didn't either. And I'm not rooting for Team Europe in the Ryder Cup, where Keegan Bradley will be the captain, potentially playing captain, some are saying. But man, that rubbed me the wrong way.
Mhm.
And again, he didn't do anything wrong. I know that's
Same.
kind of lame, but it did. I was kind
Same.
of like, all right, man.
Like, come on, man. Don't show a little.
You do like the hand slap where you hold onto the hand and you just kind of
Hey,
shake
man.
your head and
What?
like you say,
Hey, hell of a tournament, man. Sorry about that, or something. You know.
"What, Randy?"
I need to clip that visual that you were just doing there, Dave. You're using one hand.
Don't. We're not gonna do horny thumbnails, man.
Oh, why, Randy? What did it look like I was doing? Churning butter?
Yes, yes, it did. KJ, I missed that too. You want to do that one again?
No, we're good.
It's a visual
I
show.
did see the comments from Keegan Bradley, and I didn't see this all go down live. I did watch a quick replay. I noticed the same thing. I am definitely a sap for good sportsmanship. I didn't hate it as much in the moment until I saw the comments later. And I don't know if it's everything that you've already laid out, if it's at the hometown thing or what, everything put together, the Ryder Cup, but if he was posturing somehow because Fleetwood is, going to be a member of the European Ryder Cup team, if he was performing or acting that way because of that to posture as should be one of the 12
Yeah.
as a player, I hate that a lot. I hate it a lot. And I'm sure there are Ryder Cup hardos out there who are like, yeah, F that. I'm so juiced up for this. Keegan's our guy. We're finally going to do I don't care that much for you to be a dick all season long. That's not fun.
I did not see his comments. So it's ultimately
so
up to him
it came
whether
up
he
later.
plays or
Yeah.
not.
He said the right things. He said that he looks at a lot of golf data, that he would not comfortably entertain a conversation of him being a playing captain, which hasn't happened since I had the name earlier. Might be Arnold Palmer, might be 84, could be off, could be accurate. Who knows? In quite some time. But he said he would not put himself in a position for that discussion unless it was very clear and defendable, or not defendable, but unquestionable that he was one of those 12 by the metrics, by the data. And I respect that. But that's what I'm saying. If he's also trying to play the emotional card to leverage that conversation in his favor, because he's acknowledging head on that he would want to be a playing captain, I don't love that.
KJ, you were right. It was Arnold Palmer. However, it was in 1963.
Damn. It's close by 21 years.
It's all right, though. It seems like it would be a beating. To be the playing captain, right? I don't know.
3 days. And aren't there decisions that need to go on throughout the day?
Yeah.
To a certain degree? And you would be, I know playing just in a portion of the day, but I feel like watching back that full swing, there was quite a bit of FaceTime for JT throughout the Ryder Cup that I'm I don't know how it would fit in for him to be playing amongst all that bullshit. And am I getting my people wrong? I feel like that's
Zach
right.
Johnson.
Zach, I'm sorry, not JT.
They're very
JT was
They're very
his buddy.
similar.
Yeah, JT was his buddy. So I'm remembering that element of the storyline. But yes, about Zach Johnson during the tournament.
No, you're right.
So-
And if he is the playing captain and they get fucking run, which very well might happen because the USA team doesn't look. It's very strange. There's not a lot of depth. It's who's gonna make out these last few spots. But if they get fucking dusted and he doesn't play well, he will always be remembered as the guy who made it. You know what I mean?
That would be double. It'd be double bad. Sounds stupid and lame, but that's too much. I feel like it's too much pressure.
Exactly. You have
And
to
for
really
him to have been the person on the outside in and really wanted this too much. That's just, I don't know, man. This does not need to be the Keegan Bradley show. Nobody signed up for that.
I'm trying to see who our assistant captains are. I want to say Davis Love is one of them. Oh, we got Kiz, we got Sneds, we got Jim Furyk. Okay. So, I mean, that would obviously, Webb Simpson too. Just not a lot of alpha behavior on here.
Love a sequel.
Maybe
What's
Kiz.
where's it at this year? Or where's it at?
Ryder Cup is here. Where is the Ryder Cup? We got a lot of friends going weirdly. Of course, it is. Bethpage Black, Farmingdale, New York.
Okay.
Anyway,
we got time. God, gonna fuck up football season.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one mad. I felt like a little bitch. I was
It's because we like Tommy so much.
it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, it was tough. Tough scene.
Tommy, man, it's weird, dude. It's like, it's totally in his head. Cause he had just had some, like, if you watch like the back nine, there were just some moments where like putts he would run by like 4 or 5 feet and he would make, the comebacker for par, but you're like, that's not a mistake you typically see a player like Tommy make. So I don't know, man. That sucks.
Tommy, hey, it's in your head. In your head, Tommy.
Okay. He replaced Zombie with Tommy.
It's honestly, I don't say
it worked.
It's not good behavior, but like it did work.
It did work. He weirdly landed that.
I was wondering where he was going.
Yeah.
They needed to tell him it was an elevated event. Then he would have stepped up to the plate. Sorry that I took such like objection with this being an elevated event or whatever, a signature event.
You did
on like Friday.
You just asked why the purse was so high, and
but
it's a signature event.
Like I weirdly have an interest every time there's a golf tournament. I'm like, okay, what's the purse? I think it's cool when I see like the schedule and it's like, oh, this one matters. And like then you see who the leaders are like, oh fuck, this could get spicy. And I'm like, why is it $20 million? Because it wasn't always that way. Shouts to Liv for having PGA throw $12 million more at the Travelers.
'Tis the last elevated event of the season, signature event of the season. So I don't know, man. Keegan got that bag, yo. If you remember on Full Swing, he was Keegan Ryder Cup was the really, really depressing, like got left off,
Correct.
had to call. Was there with his wife.
That's why JT was stuck in my head because he was the one that got picked and
You're right.
That whole dynamic.
You're right. That was a big part
of
of it. And you guys were just obsessed with like Keegan's wife for some reason. I don't know.
Come on, man.
Anyway.
Got a short baseball minute.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching the portal, man.
No.
I've been watching the portal.
Something else happened in baseball over the weekend, which was the national championship. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Shout out Coastal
Carolina.
Gosh.
Yeah, man.
You made it.
Congrats to LSU on their second natty in 3 years.
Speaking of asterisks, Coastal's coach gets tossed like first
in the
inning?
first inning.
Okay. Elimination game.
And
okay.
to throw a coach out of a national championship, he's got to do something really egregious. And an umpire did stumble and like hit the deck. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I did. It was. Did they panic and eject him after that?
I don't know if the coach is totally to blame for what happened there, but obviously he was trying to, keep the coach in check a little bit.
What do you have to do to get tossed in an elimination game, like in the first inning, like some kind of Morgan Wallen shit? Throwing a chair at the guy?
Okay, throwing it maybe. A little Bob Knight action. I don't know, man. But yeah, he got tossed.
Not wearing a regulated uniform as a manager. Sorry, it's just baseball obsession. Keep moving.
You're stuck on coaches wearing actual
1000%.
baseball uniforms.
Only because when we get to the post game press conference, like they have to put some physical divider, like a water bottle or something between the coach and the players. So you identify, okay, this guy's slightly older. This is the coach. These are the players. But you couldn't tell at first glance because they're all dressed the same.
They don't do it in softball, which it'd be funny to picture a grown man in a softball uniform. But yeah, they still do it in baseball,
socks.
man. Always have.
Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
No, LSU won. Other than the first inning toss for the Coastal Carolina coach, I don't know if much else is noteworthy on that. The first game of the best of 3 was a 1-0 ball game. LSU obviously won that one. And yeah, they are your national champions.
For those who did not tune in as much as they would have liked to, I did check a little bit of the first game just because it was 1-0 going into the 8th or so. And I was like, okay, wonder if Coastal can do anything. Wasn't going to be the case. Whomst on LSU, is there a Paul Skeens type player? Not generational talent like Skeens, but is there somebody out on LSU that like clearly you're going to hear or see this person?
I don't think so. Their closer was throwing absolute gas. He was throwing 101 in the 8th and 9th inning. I don't know much about him though. I don't think they have anyone that's at the Skeens level.
Cade
But obviously,
Anderson? Is that
A
him?
well-rounded, good ball team.
I don't know. They've got a couple guys. Maybe it's Cade Anderson. Yeah, Cade Anderson was is their MVP. But yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of Skeens, did you see the video of the guy of Livy Dunn? I know y'all saw it actually. Of like Livy Dunn like walking into, I don't know what they were doing. She was walking into and there's press there, and some guy
Dropped his
goes
beer.
to give her a hug and like drops his, I don't know what was it, a beer?
I don't know if it looked like a beer.
But like drops it mid hug and it has it doesn't just hit the ground. It kind of explodes. It gets on everybody and it's just like, oh.
A guy who weirdly Livy Dunn was towering over, not to short shame a man, but I don't think she's very tall herself. A gymnast.
5'6".
She's a gymnast.
5'6". Okay.
Don't know. Don't ask why I know that off the top of my head.
I think we know why, Bob.
Because I looked it up after I watched that video.
As you
Went, she was
custom-
really tall.
It's
Yeah.
all in the torso, though.
You custom ordered your real doll and it got delivered.
I was
here.
about to say you had to send the dimensions in here.
Yeah.
You asked for an extra long torso.
Dude, it's so
Is
weird.
that the
It's not
box you were
even
getting
that
made?
long.
Yeah, Randy, it really is.
I could
Yeah,
show you
underrated,
much longer.
KJ.
I probably have a longer torso. I got a pretty long
Yeah, you're-
torso myself.
You're also 5 inches taller than she
Yeah,
is.
but I'm saying
Why
proportionally.
are you trying to comp your torso to Livy? Leave her alone.
I got a long
weirdo.
torso, KJ, and I'm proud of it.
Why'd you say the torso was like Goro from Mortal Kombat?
Okay. Are we done with CWS?
We are.
Yeah, we
I
moved,
don't
we moved
want
on
to
into,
push you off it. I just didn't know if
to guy
I wanted
dropping
to,
water bottle or whatever.
Chicago
quickly
White Sox.
acknowledge as we are here in the doldrums of summer. We've got 1 month. Seems like you got more than that. 1 month until NFL training camps report. So spend your time wisely. Not like we'll be all dialed in at that point, but of course that's when you'll start getting your fantasy football nuggets. 2 weeks until college football, the video game, comes back. Gives you plenty of time to catch up on baseball. Quick 3-question quiz here, fellas. Not meant to embarrass any of us. Can anybody give me 2 division leaders in the MLB?
Houston Astros, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Dylan?
Oh, God.
You got to name other ones. Sorry, dude. Those 2 have already been selected.
Are you sure those are
I was about to say, are you confident that those are accurate?
New York Mets?
I would be.
It might not be right.
Go ahead. And what's your other one?
And
I'm looking to
the fuck, not the Yankees. Yankees?
Yankees correct. Mets no. The other
Okay.
2 were valid. Houston up by 5 games in the AL West. And what was your other one? Dodgers, 3.5 games up in their division. So you boys are on top of the ball more than I would have known. I probably would have gotten one of those, just full disclosure. And then real quick, the odds on favorites for the MLB or the MVP, NL and AL. Any guesses? We got Shohei and Aaron Judge atop the list. Can you name anyone in the next 5 on either list?
I was going to say Judge.
Brent
Who's the
Rooker.
Top. Oh, yeah. Rooker's got
Judge.
to be on there.
Minus 2,000 in the AL. It's a big gap. Plus 650 is the
2,000.
next guy.
Jesus.
Yeah. Plus 650 is next. And then Shohei is minus 500, but plus 650 is after that. Any
Damn.
guesses for anybody in the next 5 on either list?
Is
Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt Jr. coming in at number 4 in the AL favorites, 100-1. David.
Oh.
Bryce Harper.
No.
Frank Thomas.
Shocked. God dang it.
The
The A's have officially broken
Ramirez?
ground.
Is it
by the way.
Ramirez? Jose Ramirez?
Ramirez, yes, Jose Ramirez. Well done. Great get. Number 3 on the AL list. 2 names had no idea about. Cal Raleigh. Absolutely smoking dingers. Catcher out of the Seattle Mariners. 36 home runs at this point.
Yeah, he's kind of going off.
And then Pete Crow Armstrong,
What was that?
center fielder for the
Smashing.
Cubs. 21 homers.
Not the worst
on the
Freudian
year.
slip of the week.
Yeah.
No disabilities here. But yeah, that was my check in and on baseball. See how things are going. Glad to see you fellas. know more than I did.
Can I say, do you know Cal Raleigh's nickname?
No.
He's Big Dumper.
What?
Has he got it like that?
Is that on his baseball reference of like random nicknames?
It just says his overview per Google. Caleb John Raleigh, nicknamed Big Dumper, is an American professional baseball catcher.
Man, could you imagine Dirtbag and Big Dumper on the same team?
No.
He's got a
hell of a
thickie.
platoon.
He does have a thickie. It's on his wiki. Like it's legitimate. You've got ass man shots of the guy. His
Yeah.
Google Images,
for
one of
him.
the 3 primary photos is just of
He's
ass region.
straight up body bagging your turd cutter, Randy.
I haven't been able to work it out,
We're
man.
not calling it
I'm
that.
losing size on my turd cutter.
Oh yeah, he's got it like that.
What's that? What's
If
your
you're-
problem?
If you're
Bill?
all torso, like
Turd cutter.
That's what you always call it when a lady walks by.
I don't think I ever say that.
That's really fucking gross.
Yeah. That would bet you could touch.
Big-
All right, I think it's
Cut
time
some
to run
turds
it back.
that one.
Yeah, I
think
think
it's time to
we've
run
hit
it back.
hit the max.
Of course, that's the segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. Dickie Lovelady is a young man, not an old bag of bones. We learned today. Pull up in the Me No Speak English.
Day to day grinding, gotta play a shining.
KJ's on his 4th outfit today
I wasn't done.
because humidity ate KJ's ass up.
Yeah.
Yeah, his little turd cutter.
Randy's-
No, stop. All right, hold on. All right, he's back. It was a suspension.
Randy's plants are currently on his mantle.
It's true.
We're unsure of a better way to say a thunder.
Yeah, what was it?
After walking out with The Rocket and Drake, Morgan Wallen did a song about drinking and driving.
There's no doubt about it. It at least alludes to it.
We're not doing Champy Celebration.
I think we are.
And finally, Randy loves a horny thumbnail. That concludes Run It Back.
He was that I do feel bad for the people of Oklahoma City because you can't, like here's like, oh God, dude, he was one of my favorite Rangers. You can't be like, God, do you remember back Kevin Durant? He's one of my favorite Thunders.
Yeah,
That sucks.
it does suck.
You remember
Go ahead.
that Serge Ibaka NFT that I've been holding on to?
Dude, I wonder what if Brett got a little bounce. No, that I don't know.
We
why
do
he
need to
would.
check on the value. Do we think that went up?
We should definitely ask him. There's no, it didn't. And if it did, he's still losing money on it. Oh, yeah. All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.